Hi students, good afternoon everybody. So in the last video we have started our third poem, Lines Written in Early Spring by William Wordsworth. Okay, so we have seen first three stanzas. Now let us see the stanza 4, 5 and 6. So let us have a small sum up of what we have seen in the 1, 2 and 3rd stanza. So what is said in the first stanza? The poet is sitting in a place where which is surrounded with the trees in a resting position, he had heard 1,000 mixed musical notes of the nature. It might be due to birds, it might be due to wind, it might be due to the breeze, everything, whatever it is. Okay, in that sweet mood, so in that pleasant mood recalls him some of the sad thoughts. So what is the poet worried is? He is worried about the changes undergone by the people living in the society. So what is said in the second stanza? So the poet is appreciating God for creating such a beautiful nature and linking the life of the human being along with the nature. And also the poet is grieved, that is worried about what man has made of man. That is why the man has detached himself from the mother nature. So what is the third stanza? So the first two lines in the third stanza explains the beautiness of the place where the poet is sitting in a resting position. So how was the place? The place is with bunches of primrose flowers and in that sweet bower. So bower means a shady place under a tree, and also the place is covered with periwinkle flowers, that is beautiful blue colored flowers which has spread along the ground. So it is the confidence of the poet that every flower is enjoying the each ounce of the air it is breathing. Ounce, O-U-N-C-E. So many of you have given wrong spelling for this. So the spelling for ounce is O-N-C. Okay, right. So this is what we have seen in the stanza 1, 2 and 3. Now let us go for the stanza 4, 5 and 6. The birds around me hopped and played. Their thoughts I cannot measure, but the least motion which they made, it seemed a thrill of pleasure. The budding twigs spread out their fan to catch the breezy air, and I must think, do all I can, that there was pleasure there. If this belief from heaven be sent, if such be nature's holy plan, have I not a reason to lament what man has made of man? So the poem ends with the great question mark of the poet. Okay. So let us see the explanation for the fourth stanza. The birds around me hopped and played. So the birds around me refers to the poet William Wordsworth. So where he was sitting in a place which is surrounded with green plants and fresh flowers, and he was sitting in a resting position and he is enjoying the beauty of the nature. So the birds around the poet hopped. So it is jumping and playing. It hopped and played their thoughts. So here their refers to the birds. Okay. So their thoughts I cannot measure. I refers to the poet William Wordsworth. So their thoughts I cannot measure. So I cannot measure their happiness. Okay. So the poet is surprised at the happiness of the creatures, that is the birds, but the least motion which they made, it seemed a thrill of pleasure. Okay. So though the poet cannot understand their language, whose language? Their thoughts, that is the language of the poet, language of the birds. He says that is the poet says that the birds are creating all sorts of motion. Motion means all the movements. Why it is creating all the movement is, it is definitely due to the joy and the pleasure it is enjoying along with the nature. Can you understand? So the birds around the poet are hopping and jumping. The poet cannot measure their happiness, or the poet cannot understand their language of why they are making sounds, why they are flying here and there, why they are twittering. Okay, so though the poet cannot understand, but the poet strongly believes that the movement created by the birds are due to the joy and the pleasure it is they are enjoying along with the mother nature. Okay, let us go for the next stanza. The budding twigs spread out their fan to catch the breezy air, and I must think, do all I can, that there was pleasure there. So pleasure means happiness, right? The budding twigs. So what is mean by budding twigs? See, this is the budding twigs. So actually twigs means the small branches of a tree is called as twig. Okay, small leafless branches of a tree or plant, it is called as twig. So what is said in the poem? Budding twigs. So this is twig. So how is the twig? They are budding. So why they are budding? Because what we have seen, the season is a spring season. The poet is writing this poem during a spring season. Okay, so after the fall of the leaves, they are starting to grow. Okay, so that's why the lines were given. So the spring season is associated in the poem that as budding twigs. Okay, so twigs means the leafless branches of a plant or a tree is called as twig. So these are budding. Can you understand? Okay. So the budding twigs spread out their fan to catch the breezy air. Okay, so the poet is telling that the budding twigs have spreaded their fan. That is, the twigs are spreading out. That is, this is imagine these to be a branch. So the leaves are budding from the branches and they have spreaded out. So எதுக்காக அதெல்லாம் spread ஆகுதுன்னா to catch the breezy air. Okay, so the twigs are spreading out, that is the budding twigs are spreading out to catch the flowing breeze which is very sweet and light. So breeze நாலே எப்படி இருக்கும்? It will be very nice and it will be very enjoyable. ரொம்ப லைட்டாக இருக்கும், ஒரு slow wind மாதிரி இருக்கும், that we call as breeze. So it will be very much enjoyable. So the small leafless branches are spreading out to catch the flowing breeze which was very sweet and which was very enjoyable. Okay, and I must think. Who must think? I refers to the poet. And I must think, do all I can, that there was pleasure there. So pleasure means happiness. So the poet, what the poet can do? So do all I can. So என்னால் என்ன பண்ண முடியும்னா, okay, I must think, do all I can is to gather the pleasure in their existence. So to collect to enjoy the pleasure due to all this nature. That is what I can do. Can you understand? So the budding twigs are spreading out to catch the breeze which is flowing and which was very sweet and enjoyable. And what the poet can do is, he has to gather all the pleasure of the nature. He can just gather all the pleasure of the nature. Okay, so let us come for the last stanza. If this belief from heaven be sent, if such be nature's holy plan, have I not reason to lament what man has made of man? So if this belief from heaven be sent. So the poet is questioning here. See, here it is starting with if. Okay. See, it is starting with if. If this belief from nature be sent. So the poet is questioning, if this is the plan of the nature sent from the heaven. Okay, if such be nature's holy plan sent from the heaven, have I not reason to lament? Okay, so the poet is questioning. So if this is the plan of the nature sent from the heaven, then have I not reason to lament? So what is mean by lament? Lament means To express sorrow or unhappiness about something. Expressing sorrow or unhappiness about something, that is called as lament. So if this is the belief of the heaven, if this is the plan sent by the nature from the heaven, then what man has made of man? அதுக்காக நான் worry பண்ண மாட்டேனா? Have I not a reason to lament? So the poet is questioning what man has made of man. So man has created, so this condition of the man is not by any other thing. The poet says that the present condition, that is the why the man has separated himself from the nature, is nobody's reason for that. Who is the reason? The man himself is the reason. Okay, so the man's separation from the nature is affecting the poet to a great extent, and that's what has made the poet to write this poem. Okay, so the poet is lamenting about that is worried about the expressing his sorrow about the miseries of the man in the world. Okay, miseries of the human being in the world. So nobody is reason for that misery. Who is the reason? Man himself is the reason, because everything is created by us, we the human beings. Can you understand? So this is what the poem. So finally, what is the moral is, the world of nature untouched by the misery goes on, while the human are left behind by the misery. Okay, so the world of nature is just going on, is it or not? Who is destroying the nature? We human beings are destroying the nature. And who are the sufferers? We human beings are the sufferers. The world has nothing to suffer. Okay, so it cannot be touched by the misery. So the world is going on, the world of nature is going on as usual, but we human beings have created many harmful things against the nature. And also, who is suffering? We human beings are the people who are suffering due to the miseries created by us to the nature. Can you understand? So this is the poem, lines written in early spring. The poet William Wordsworth, as he was going for a walk outside in a nearby village called Alford, he was sitting under a tree for a rest. Okay, and he was enjoying the beauty of nature. At the same time, he is worried about the why the man has detached himself from the nature, and that what has made him to write this beautiful poem. Lines are written in early spring. So this poem was written during a early spring season by William Wordsworth. Okay, now let us see the book back topics. I hope you can understand the poem. So come to the book back. So glossary, you can read it. And see, first one, find words from the poem that conveys the following ideas. See, one example I will tell you. So connected together. So what is the first one? Connected together. So which word expresses this? See here, link. Is it or not? Next one, spread over the surface of the ground in a straggling manner. So what is the word here? Trailed. Okay, trailed. Trailed. Okay, so likewise you can find next one, make out or understand, measure, slender woody shoots growing from branches or stems of trees. What is this? I have shown you the picture. It is budding twigs. Okay, next, second topic, complete the summary of the poem by filling in the blanks with the words given below. See, they have given blanks. So with the words which are given here, you can fill in the blanks. Okay, so go through once, find the correct answer so that you will have a proper idea. Okay, see the next one. Read the lines given below and answer the questions that follow. See what is this? It is comprehension questions. If this belief and it is my faith that every flower enjoys the air it breathes. So what is the poet's faith? The poet is believing that each flower is enjoying each ounce of air it is breathing. What trait of nature do we see here? So what trait of nature? Nature's fair workers. So it is working for us very fairly, right? And I must think, do all I can. That there was pleasure there. So what did the poet notice about the twigs? So what the poet is noticing? So the twigs are growing to catch the breezy air. What was the poet's thought about then? So what is the poet thought? The poet is thinking that the twigs are enjoying the breeze, which is spreaded there or which is flowing or blowing there. If this belief from heaven be sent, if such be nature's holy plan. So what does heaven here refers to? So here heaven refers to, again it refers to the God, the creator of the world. Why does the poet call it holy? The poet is calling it holy because it is the plan of heaven which was sent to us. Okay, so it is the work given to us from heaven. Next one. Explain the following lines with reference to the context in about 4 to 5 sentences each. So you have to write explanation, reference, context and explanation. Each carries 1 mark. Totally this 3 marks. Okay, you will be getting 2 questions from this. So 6 marks you will be getting from ERC. Next, read the following sets of lines and identify the figures of speech used in each extract. So figures of speech will be seeing in the next video. Next one. So based on your reading of the poem, answer the following questions in a sentence or 2 each. This you can do yourself. Complete the following sentences by choosing the best options. Okay. The poet experiences sadness because why? First, what is the first option? The blended notes are jarring. The nature is filled with negativity. And he is worried about the destruction caused to nature. Natural calamities occur frequently. So what is the answer? He is worried about the destruction caused to nature, right? So what is the correct answer? Option 3 is the correct answer. The poem is set in a dash. So where the poem is set? The poem is set in a grove. Okay, what is meant by grove? It is a place which is filled with trees. Group of trees. The place will be very beautiful to look. The poem speaks of dash. Man's plan to shape destiny. Man seeking pleasure and riches. Man indulging in wars and acts of destruction. Man's fear of nature. Okay, so what the poem is speaking about? It is speaking about man's fear of nature. Okay, so come to the next page. Paragraph answer I will give you next. Okay, so with this we have completed. See, in 11C a question is given. Write a letter to the councillor of your ward explaining why a park is necessary in your locality. First understand the question. Write a letter to the councillor of your ward explaining why a park is necessary in your locality. So what is the meaning of the question? So இப்போ உங்க ஏரியால பார்க் இருக்கா இல்லையா? What is the meaning? So there is no park in your area. So you are writing a letter to the counselor of your ward. உங்களோட ward counselorக்கு you are writing a letter. Okay, என்ன லெட்டர் எழுத போறீங்க? You are going to ask for a park. உங்க ஏரியாவுக்கு ஒரு பார்க் வேணும் அப்படின்னு கேட்டு ரெக்வஸ்ட் பண்ணி it is a requisition letter. Okay, you are writing a letter for your ward counselor. Can you understand? So whether this is an official, that is formal letter or informal letter? Yes, it is a formal letter. Okay, so you have to try it yourself. So with this poem, lines written in early spring ends. Hope every one of you can understand. Thank you for watching. Thank you.